Hello, and welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
I am John Mathot, John Mathot, who is the author of the Star Wars parody Twitter feed, Ordinary Star Wars. That's at Ordinary SW.
Yes, welcome back, John.
Thanks, guys.
And today we will be talking about minute 104 of Solo, a Star Wars party.
104.
It's like 94 plus 10.
I know. I couldn't be here for minute 94, so I had to get that one in.
Inflation.
We can give you 94 now, plus 10 more when we reach 100.
Oh my God, let's forget it.
104 starts with Han cracking a smile at Enfys Nest. He's like, "Oh, that rascal," because he knows Middle French. And it ends with Bobias Tecket. Now, here the ending of this minute is in dispute, just like the taxation of trade routes. What do you think he says? Han is explaining a plan, and then he says one thing at the very end of this minute. Bobias Tecket says what? John, what do you think?
What does he say at the end of the minute? I'm sorry.
That's all right. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't write down. I didn't notice any. Yeah.
Your class got an F here.
I was too busy worrying about the start of the next minute.
I know. Never your mind on where you were, what you were doing.
What was the answer?
Well, it's hard to tell whether he's saying, because Han just explains his plan. Skipping ahead to the end of the minute, Han explains the plan, and Bobias Tecket is a little bit
yes,
suspicious. He's a little bit skeptical, a bit dubious. There you go. And I'm pretty sure he says dicey, because then the next, we'll talk about what he follows that up with in the next minute. But in the transcript, he says I see, and so it's either I see. He's either like I see, or he's dicey. So
I like dicey.
Dicey.
Dicey, like what's hanging from the cockpit
metal
of a spaceship.
Yeah. For those about to rock, ways high low down. I say dicey. So I think it's dicey because that fits with his thing, and it
ties in with the theme of the movie with the dice.
As John was just saying, the dice. That's Han's all about being dicey.
Yeah.
But tough to. I don't know.
I see. You can't trust those transcripts.
Yeah. Well, for the most part, it's got a lot of the other stuff pretty dead on. But I see dicey. Let us know what you think. Call in 8 Grito. We will not below. We will not hear it until months after this is recorded. So not months, but
call in. No one will be there.
Call in, and then later when we're on hiatus, we'll be like, oh yeah.
I guess that would have been good. Oh well. One of my big notes here was they obviously cut away for a reason as he's about to outline the plan that he had, Solo plan that he had so far. And we cut to, everyone else observing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what do you think they're talking about? It reminded me of that meme that you see where it's the two people in bed and the woman is thinking like, oh, what is he thinking about? And he's thinking about something completely inane. Right. Like, I wonder how many toes Imperial Walker has or something like that.
Did you say you wonder how many toes Jimmy Walker has?
Well, there was, speaking of old TV shows, there was that famous episode where, he got his toes cut off, and
with the dynamite.
He was always a method actor, so it's in dispute whether he actually cut his own toes off.
Yeah, they weren't all good times, Marge.
No. When you have to buy special shoes, because your toes are missing.
So at the beginning of the minute,
let's start.
Beckett says he says joining the cause, Han Solo.
Yeah,
and I guess I like it. It sounds a bit like meta, like it's now like Han Solo is a legendary figure, but I guess it makes sense in this.
Yeah, I think he's ribbing him a little bit.
Yeah,
which is good.
That's good.
And definitely planting the seed for, but also
the idea to join a cause.
Yeah, and then also because he joins a cause, he joins a cause later, kind of more reticently. But
I just had to do a quick Google. This is the 4th of 4 times that Han Solo is said in this movie. Now remember that it's said a lot in the Force Awakens. They say it like every other minute. It's like Han Solo.
Every other Star Wars
full thing.
It's probably
4th of 4 here.
Yeah.
Of course, we get the Imperial officer who names him says, "Good luck, Han Solo."
Mm-hmm.
And then when Beckett introduces them to Dryden Voss, he says, "Yeah, this is Han Solo and Chewbacca." Then a little bit later, Han says it himself when he's introduced to. I think, does he say it himself, or is it Kira introducing them when he meets Lando? It's like, "Oh, this is Lando Calrissian, this is Han Solo." I think they say it themselves. Yeah, it is, because he introduces him. He's like, "Oh, I'm Captain Lando Calrissian." He's like, "Oh, I'm Han Solo."
And then her intring them would be a little too Qui-Gon introducing Anakin to
Skywalker.
R2-D2's here also.
Jay, meet the Simpsons.
But yeah, and then this is the 4th, joining the cause, Han Solo, and that's the last time,
the final one.
Mm-hmm. Until, let's say, chronologically, the next time we hear the name Han Solo is in Star Wars, when Han Solo introduces himself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Beckett also says the line, "You don't tangle with Dryden." And I really like that. I almost feel like Dryden should have that like on his his motto of his business. Crimson Dawn, you don't mess with Dryden.
You don't tangle with Dryden.
Yeah,
I was hoping though, like I misheard it for like a millisecond. I was hoping he said tango.
Well, that too.
Yeah, that would have been enjoyable to view.
This movie takes on it would be totally different if they settled their differences on the dance floor instead of with
that's dance.
Yeah, I like it. You don't tango with Dryden. It's Dicey. That's why.
Yep.
Maybe he said it's dancey. You don't tango with Dryden.
It's got a good beat. I could dance to it.
You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned them sort of looking at them at the ladies back at the camp, looking at the gentlemen hashing the deal out, and Chewbacca's with them. Do you think Chewbacca has good enough hearing where he can? Is it racist of me to assume that like a dog, Chewbacca would have good hearing? Or do you think he just has hearing like any other, sentient creature in the Star Wars universe?
The first part wasn't racist. The second part was racist.
Oh, damn. I was so close. I just kept my mouth shut.
That's okay.
I don't know. Do we know about Chewbacca's hearing? He's got a good sense of smell. We think, right?
Never been any. Yeah, there's never been any.
There's that scene in Empire where they're playing like that. That siren, and Chewie's holding his ears like it hurts his ears, which I guess it would annoy anyone. But I always got the impression it was because he was a Wookiee and he had like higher frequencies, at least the higher frequencies.
Because no one else was in the cell with him at that point, right? Because then after that they threw Leia in, and then
except C-3PO, but he's dead at that point. So
he can hear anything. He can listen to anything.
Yeah. Do you think C-3PO has really good hearing? Does he have a cute hearing?
I can't remember if they tried to talk to. If there's anyone tried to speak without him hearing.
Well, yeah. Now I'm picturing like 2001, where it's just like they're trying to do something, and C-3PO.
Oh my gosh, that would be creepy to see his eyes staring.
You see his eyes staring.
Me, sir. I can't POV. The door's for you. Terribly sorry.
Oh, it wouldn't be proper.
But you would think that the only thing that I want to save this for the next minute. I just spoiled it. I'm going to be back tomorrow. That
you assume too much.
Was placed far away. Why wasn't he included in this conversation?
Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so far, the successful parts of this have been his plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's the one who is he the one who? Yeah, he's the one who.
He's the one who suggests they go to Kessel.
Severine. Kessel and then Severine too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the parts that have been working have been Chewbacca's idea. So really, he should be involved in the plan.
Yep.
I mean, Han Solo will learn that over time, I guess.
No, they just automatically passing him over. Like they didn't involve him in that meeting, didn't give him a medal.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Chewbacca knows that ultimately he's kind of in charge, so he's just kind of letting them. It's like letting two children talk about what their plan is going to be, and then one Chewie's going to be like, "All right, here's what we're doing," and then
that's what we're really doing.
Go about their business. Because don't forget, he's 200 years old, and these guys are like babies compared to him.
Yeah.
So,
life dead or no, he's still got some smarts. Knows what's going on.
Yes.
Well, on the it seemed very much to me like I wrote a cartoon plan whisper. Where it's just like like it's like, all right, we're gonna get our we can't give this stuff to Dryden. Well, how are we going to get away from him? Okay, here's the plan. And then we, I think they should have leaned into it a little more and had it like that.
And Becca would have gone, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you could have like them making elaborate hand gestures
really far.
from far away.
Right. Yeah. Then cut to Kira and Enfys Nest talking. You see them like acting all this stuff out, and
jumping on each other's backs.
Right. Right. Or with the.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. Whatever they're doing there, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. He's got the Napoleon style kind of tactical thing with the pointer and
they're drawing a map in the sand.
Yeah. I say Napoleon style because I'm strictly referencing Napoleon in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, not real life Napoleon.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That would be slander. The estate of Napoleon.
Yeah.
After the show. And bleed you all.
Real Napoleon or digital Napoleon?
Dynamite.
Right. Yeah. He's hanging out in digital space with Leslie Nielsen right now.
Well, it's digital Napoleon. It sounds like that. That's my. What is that?
It kind of sounds like a sex act.
Oh wow.
You sound like to me it sounds like a cyber terrorist.
Oh. See, I was thinking it was going to be like a hip hop alter ego, but you guys went to completely different places.
Why not all three?
Yeah, hey,
you know what I mean? It's the
why not both?
Well, I mentioned it briefly the other day, but apparently there's a Marvel Comics story in which at the end of this episode, of course, they give at the end of this, not this episode, the end of the movie, they give Enfys Nest the Coaxium, which she then brings to just start the rebellion. And I guess there's a story where she goes to bring the Coaxium to her friends in the rebellion, who's of course our old friend, that liar and deceiver himself, Saw Gerrera.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is a scene in which they go to Seesaw, and it works out just so because they meet up with Jyn Erso. So we have 17-year-old Enfys Nest meeting up with 11-year-old Jyn Erso. So thus the webs grow ever closer. So two tubes, the connecting person between those two groups. So
the connecting tissue is two tubes.
That's some tissue.
Yeah.
Tissue.
Tissue.
Well, that's interesting. I both like that and dislike that. I do want a larger universe.
The last canonical appearance of
Enfys Nest.
Yes.
For now.
Yeah.
Enfys Nest will return in Pure Rainbow. The next Star Wars movie.
Dave Filoni is listening to this and frantically scratching down notes.
We wouldn't be surprised. What was another one? Oh yeah, go back to Bobias and Han Solo having a conversation there. I like when he says like, oh, maybe you get your girlfriend back too. Like I like how petty he is about that he's like he doesn't want to lose part of his crew to like a new like don't talk to girls, like be part of the crew.
Yoko.
But then also like he is like Han seemed like I like Han is a little like scolded, embarrassed, kind of like no, because like I think he did get like that was part of his plan, obviously, like, oh, this works out great, we can maybe if we get out from under, Dryden's thumb by taking him out, when we can also, I can get my girlfriend back and everything will be cool. And so I like how it serves both. That it's like it is Bobias Tecket being kind of, what's the word that I'm looking for there? He's being a little bit kind of, snippy and being like, no, like don't go hang out with your girlfriend, like be part of the gang, be part of the boys.
Bros before hoes kind of.
No, that's funny. It's funny you say that, because I took it the same way, but in a kind of a flipped way, in that like, oh, and you're going to get your girlfriend back, meaning like you're never going to get your girlfriend back, just like hang with us. Yeah. As opposed to like, I saw it as like he held more of the cards, that Tecket would hold more of the cards, and then just like, dude, come on, your life is going to suck without us.
Right.
It's too bad it didn't work out between those crazy kids. Bobias and Han, I mean, not Han and Kira.
Yeah.
Well, we still got like a half hour of movie left or something. So
would have got shot some way.
Maybe they'll turn it around.
Yeah. That that's all I have for actual notes of content in here.
Same here.
But John, I wanted to ask you about seeing Solo. See Solo. Did you see Solo? You saw it in the theater?
I did not see Solo. I did not see these minutes. That's the weird part. I don't know how this is happening. But
you're just kind of nodding and playing along.
Yes. No, we saw Solo at a very revered movie theater here in Los Angeles called the Vista. So it's been around since the 1920s. It's been dark since the pandemic, and recently made some news in that Quentin Tarantino just purchased it, and still not open, but it's been in the works for a while. So people might know that he owns another old movie theater out here called the New Beverly Theater, which shows movies only on film, which is pretty cool. So I saw Solo with another family. I think I'd mentioned there's another family that we've been seeing all the Star Wars movies with through the years. So we, although we sat, I know how people sit in movie theaters, but all in a long row. So we're not able to kind of cut it up as much as I suppose we're sitting in like a couple of seats behind each other. But it was, I know initially it was, maybe a lot of people felt this way, a little underwhelming, not what we'd expected. We'd expected something else, but still enjoyed it for what it was. And my youngest son is 11, has wanted to watch it on a couple of occasions. So I've watched it since, and I've enjoyed it more in subsequent viewings.
Yeah, that seems to be a fairly common. Outside of the zeitgeist, it benefits from just being a fun movie on its own. It's not. Like, didn't have to all the carry any weight of
right. Any expectations are washed away. Like you know what you're going in for. It's like, okay, let's see what's kind of cool about this. And there's some pretty cool stuff to it.
Yeah, it certainly, I don't know, doesn't. I feel like it's got an undeserved reputation, but nobody has been going around saying it's bad. I don't think people have just been either like indifferent or, some people are just like, oh, did they make that? Like, like people either don't know much about it, or they were just kind of like, oh yeah, I think I saw that one. Like it's not, I don't know, but it's slowly, it's clawing its way back into respectability.
Mm-hmm. Hey, if they make Lego sets of it,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been kind of discussing, obviously, or maybe not obviously, but it seems right now that Star Wars is going through a kind of, we're moving past the original trilogy nostalgia for prequel nostalgia.
Right.
Which a lot of people thought, that's never going to happen. And here we are now, and everyone loves, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if... and we discussed the idea, could something like that happen with Solo? Like in 20 years from now, is Alden Ehrenreich going to be coming back to play Han Solo, and everyone's going to be like, oh, it's great. Finally, we get to see him do more stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like Solo it almost didn't like, I don't know if there are people watching it over and over again the way people watch with things that they get nostalgic for. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm sure some people are watching it over and over again, but I also feel like there's so much more content now to compete with that even just in Star Wars, I mean, there's, a new TV series all the time. So it almost like you don't really have time to sit with something and kind of develop that, like, well, it's just the new Star Wars thing. So I have to watch it, I doubt anyone saw it 13 times the way that Pete saw Phantom Menace in the theater.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I mean, there's also the element of how it shows up in, articles in like, Variety or Hollywood Reporter about like, oh, because of Solo, a Star Wars story, Disney is rethinking and this and blah, blah. I've seen that more than once about how they, business wise, they see this as it comes across in articles that they see it as a misstep somehow. And they're pumping the brakes on things like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the perfect avenue for this developed shortly after it came out, which is what we've said a couple times that this would be, a great Disney Plus series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can even we've been kind of marking the every half hour or so it's got a good act break that it moves on to a different thing. I'm like, oh, that would be the episode right there. Like every 30, 40 minutes we've been finding like, oh, okay, this is where it would end, and then you'd get the next one.
So do you think they should literally just do that? Like, hey, we have this new Disney Plus series. And don't even just, literally don't add any new material or anything. Just have it, those
just
act
throw in credits in between.
Yeah.
Like putting Daredevil on Disney Plus, like, hey, everyone, here's a new series. What? Okay.
New to you. Well, all right. Well, then that was all I think we had for this minute for 104. Alex, I didn't ask you before. Did you have anything else for this? Did you have any lingering notes? Didn't you have one from yesterday that was going to happen today? You already did that one.
I think that was the stuff about the Marvel comic.
Oh, okay.
I had a note about Erin Kellerman, who plays Enfys Nest.
Yes.
She was in a show called The Green Knight.
Right.
Which had Joel Edgerton, Uncle Owen himself, in it. So
is it a show or a movie?
I don't know.
A movie or the planet?
It might be a movie. It might be a movie. Right. The Green Knight.
Isn't that the one?
I assumed it was about lightsabers, green lightsabers, but no.
The Green Knight Saber.
The Night Saber.
I believe that's the one. There was some kind of auteur director. I think that one. Am I thinking the right thing?
Is that an M. Night Shyamalan jam?
It's not, but it's someone. It's someone like who's spoken about, like Alex Garland, who's like someone who's spoken about in those.
An auteur.
David Lowery. David Lowery, who did. He's a hot. What else?
He's the hot new thing.
He's the hot new thing. No, he did. Oh, maybe not.
Because the Green Knight is the one I forget who the main star is, and if it's the same one, my brother sees every single movie, and that was one of his favorites from last year.
Yeah, this guy did The Old Man and the Gun, The Green Knight. He did the remake of Pete's Dragon.
I think that's the same
remake of Pete's Dragon.
They did a remake of Pete's Dragon.
It's a live action. Pete's Dragon. Pete's Dragon.
Now, what's this Harrison Ford time travel thing again? Age of Adelia?
Age of Adeline.
Yeah.
And it's, I've only seen, I didn't see the movie, but I've seen, I've seeked out clips just looking for that guy. It was actually around when they were casting Solo. And oh my God, was it the same time? Because some of your fans may remember that I used to work at Disney. I used to work on a show called Phineas and Ferb. If you have young children, or you were a young child, you've seen it. But we were the very first post Lucasfilm Disney purchase project to come out of the gate. Was the Star Wars Phineas and Ferb episode. And for the Han Solo voice, we looked around the internet. One of the artists found, and Lordy, I can't remember the guy's name. He's since gone on to The Walking Dead, but he became famous for doing celebrity voices, and because he's a voice actor, and he put out this video where it's him in a room talking to himself at various points in the room, doing different accents. And he did a Harrison Ford that really blew us away. So we reached out to him and cast him as Han Solo in the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars, and I think it's brilliant. It's his Harrison Ford is just fantastic. And after that, we'd like to think it was because of Phineas and Ferb Star Wars that he's gone and he got The Walking Dead, and now he's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, he's Ross Marquand.
Ross Marquand, that's who it is.
Yeah, who was he's been in a bunch of The Walking Dead. He did some Marvel.
I'm obligated to ask if he is related to Richard Marquand.
That'd be interesting.
It would be. As far as we know, he's not.
Native to Denver, so I don't think so.
But he's a real fan favorite in Walking Dead. And yes, do look up his acting reel on YouTube. It is truly a treat.
Yeah, his father's name is Kermit Marquand, so no, not
Kermit Marquand.
That's a good one.
5 minutes for curtain, Mr. Marquand.
He's known for impersonating a plethora of celebrities, including Harrison Ford, Brad Pitt, Matthew McConaughey, and over 60 others. So there you go.
He really nailed what got it for us is he nailed the yelling Harrison Ford. There's the talking Harrison Ford voice. The yelling, I can't even do it, but it's such a the burn kind of yell.
Yeah,
he nailed it. So
nice.
How do we get onto that? I don't remember.
Hey. And somebody else was the voice of Captain Antilles in this show. That was you, John Mathot.
That was me.
Huh.
Yep, I was Captain Antilles. I was a stormtrooper. I was also one of the Imperial officers who lets the escape pod go. That was
all right.
Fun.
Yeah.
How about some of that Sith roast? What's my line?
And since we first met and now, my kids have watched and enjoyed that several times. So.
Oh, excellent.
It's on Disney Plus.
Did you tell them that he's a regular on our show?
Yeah.
Nice. They were impressed.
Excellent. How kind.
And so everybody else, why not go watch that on Disney Plus? Check it out. It's good. I believe it's still on Disney Plus, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Go do that. And hey, if you're just listening to this, why not also watch the show on YouTube? StarWarsMinute.com/YouTube will take you to the video. You can see sometimes we throw in visual gags. We just hold up random weird things from our recording areas.
We look at each other like we're in the Brady Bunch.
There's a Feltapern sticker on my floor that for some reason.
An R2D2 flashlight.
Look at that. Flashlight.
Oh, battery's burnt out. That's why it's on my desk, so I can change the battery.
Your
giant mug from Celebration.
Ooh,
we've all got things.
Nice sheen on that.
Yeah.
See,
that's Grogu.
If you're listening now, don't you want to see that sheen? You got to go to the YouTube channel.
Go to our YouTube channel and watch, subscribe. Hey, rate, review, subscribe. I don't feel like we haven't said that in a while. If you're just listening, rate, review, subscribe. All the places where you could do that. Here, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the things. So go do that. Support the show. It helps a lot. And we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.